GM.
Oh my God.
GM, how are we doing?
Doing
Oh,
good. How
Hello.
are you doing?
I'm good, but I have to like always be centered. Like I think if I go a little bit to the left, I'm always moving. So suddenly you, but here's a more mysterious like
You
this.
got to
Yeah.
find the sweet spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought about being mysterious myself with, how about that?
Oh my God,
Cool. Now I
you
need
look
some
ready for
sunglasses.
space.
I think that's the cool look right there.
Yeah.
So, hello everyone, and welcome to this fantastic art stream in which we are going to have two amazing artists like drawing today, doing live drawing. My name is Mila. I'm an artist and a part of the Robotics team, and I want to introduce you to Dr. Sian Proctor. We are going to call her Doc. We
Hello,
were
everyone.
chatting for this, like, can we call you Doc? Because it's super cool. She's a geoscientist, explorer, and a space artist, which is like, I believe that that's like the coolest type of artist I have ever heard. Like
Thank you.
I make art in space. That's really, really, really cool. And also, Doug, you are a commercial pilot and the first Afro American female spacecraft pilot. That's something really cool. I have a lot of questions.
Yes, fire away.
Thank you so much for being here. And also, we have Pablo Stanley, one of the
Yay.
Hello.
funniest
Hi.
and
This is
most
so
creative
cool.
artists in the Web3 ecosystem.
Uh, I don't know about that, but but thank you. I appreciate it. That's really kind of you. And yeah, super excited to be here with you, Doc. Like
Thank
I don't
you.
know, Mike. I'm ready to just like chat with you and just like a draw and doodle. It's I don't know. But by the way, for everyone here, uh, we didn't practice this. We This is not something that we didn't even maybe we should have. we
Eh,
we didn't like plan it. It was more like, hey, let's just open a canvas and let's just start drawing. And so everything that you see here is going to be just like im-
Organic.
improv, improv
Yes.
doodles.
Yes, which I love, and I think that that's one of the fun things is you draw amazing characters and things, and I feel like um, I have some too, and I just love the fact that we can get in here and do this
Yeah,
together.
and just for everyone who doesn't know what's going on, like this canvas that you see here, it's multiplayer. So Dr. Sian Proctor and myself, we're there. She's drawing. She's right now. She's putting GM. I put this one that says "Hello, Doc." I just added two lines. So we're both at the same time drawing at the same canvas, and but at the same time, like Dr. Sian Proctor is just like, can I say where you are?
Yes, go right ahead.
Doctor is the doctor is in Tulum, and I am in Mexico. I don't know. I know that Pablo. Yeah, technology. We know, but I don't know. This still surprises me that we're able to do this kind of stuff. You know?
I think it's amazing. And this is my first time doing this. And so I'm so honored to be invited to share the canvas with you and to do this, have fun chatting and doodling at the same time.
Love it, love it. And so I was thinking, Doctor. I don't know what you think. I was thinking of adding some robots and some monsters and some little characters here.
Yes,
Just like I'm always just drawing stuff. So
I
and by the
love it.
way, since Dr. CM Proctor, since you draw a lot of your stuff is in like on a black background, right? I don't know if
Hmm.
Mila, you can show some of the art from Dr. Cian, just like so people can, or maybe you should, Doctor, if you have it. I don't know
Yeah,
if we're ready with some screens showing. Yeah,
I'm an
there you go.
Afrofuturist metallic artist. So a lot of times I have a black background and I use metallic arts, paints and markers. And so I like bright, vivid colors. And this is I actually painted this using watercolors while in space. And
While in
that's my Afro
space?
Gaia character, Mother Earth, Afro Gaia, and then you can see our SpaceX Dragon capsule. And I just love things that shimmer.
Hold on. This is crazy. So in space, zero gravity. Like watercolor, gravity is a big part of on how you draw in watercolor because you let the water fall and the paint fall and just like also like a getting into the like absorbed by the paper, but sometimes the absorption of the paper is just like it's also just gravity of like a I don't know what I'm asking. Just like I'm pretty sure that this was a totally different experience painting in space.
I didn't actually know what to expect. And what was interesting is that now they have brushes that you can preload with water. Because the biggest issue was how do you transfer water, dipping a paintbrush into water and then over to the canvas and not have the water want to float away. But what we did with SpaceX is we preloaded brushes with water and then flew them to space. And then as I squeezed the brushes, the water went out onto the tip of the bristles. And because of surface tension, it stayed there. And then I was able to swirl into my watercolors, my metallic watercolors. And again, surface tension allowed it to stay and then apply it to the canvas. So surprisingly, it was a lot easier than I even expected. But if I let go of my brush or the cap and things, they would float away. So I had to anchor myself down because I would float. And then I had to make sure my canvas and stuff was secured by having the Velcro, and everything had Velcro. So if I could put it down somewhere and not have it float away. But it took me hours to do that. And a lot of people are like, well, were you looking out the window? And I was like, no, I couldn't because we orbited the Earth every 90 minutes. And so that meant that, we had a sunrise or a sunset every 45 minutes. And as a result of that, you lose the light.
Yeah. That is so. I cannot even imagine like all. I don't know, being in space and doing all the different things that you want to do, but doing them over there.
I know it was. I honestly didn't know how it would turn out. And kind
Yeah,
of like today, I have no idea how our canvas is going to turn out, but I'm
I,
excited for it.
I'm excited for that too. We're entering a kind of like right now, it's just a black hole. So let's bring some light into this black hole. It's going to, I don't know, we're going to go to the other side and the multiverse.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely.
so okay, cool. So I'm just gonna start drawing. If you're
Yeah,
okay,
who's going to start?
I'm going
You
to get
know,
started.
I'm going to let you start, and then I'm going
I,
to add in. When I was a kid, well, in high school, one of the things that I always drew was this one character. Oh, I'm sorry, I just blanked this out. I had to fill in. This is how we learn. I just blanked this all out. So this was,
yeah, I think you had the paint bucket selected, maybe.
I have a quick question for you, Doc.
yes.
Why your like pilot uniform says Leo Proctor? Is that
Yeah.
like your pilot call sign?
Yes, it is. So my call sign, my crew members gave me the call sign Leo because they consider me to be a modern day Renaissance woman.
Wow. That's so cool. And they are completely right. Like you do a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
Like
that's one of the things that I've really enjoyed is being able to, stretch myself and engage in lifelong learning.
yeah, that's pretty inspiring. What are
Hey,
you drawing there, Pablo?
by the way, doctor, I think you can actually undo with two fingers too.
Oh.
I'm just realizing that, yeah, you should tap with two fingers. Let's see. Or no? Yeah, you tap with
Oh
two
yeah, you
fingers and you
do.
undo.
I
There
see
you go.
that.
Just in case you were,
Whoa.
yeah, so easier. It's a little bit closer to this other tool that I love
I'm
is
going
Procreate.
to
But
redraw something new. I like what I drew, but I think I'm going to change it
okay,
to be
yeah,
more
iteration,
robotic.
always improving, always changing. Is a good strategy. Uh, I am by the way, this I'm not very used to this tool either. So like I'm trying to find the tools. It's always cool to just like use a different tool and trying to find those things that oh no undo
I
that
know, isn't
you're
that
using.
fun? But you're like, yeah, undo. But that's what's great about testing and trying things like this is that you're able to come up with um, really cool like things because you're willing to experiment and try. Oh, I do love the fact that we can um, easily undo.
Yeah, and the cool thing is that when you undo, you only undo your stuff. You're not undoing my stuff.
I know, which is
I
a good thing.
yeah, I know that that sounds crazy, but it's just like I'm pretty sure that was a technical thing that they had to just like undo what event, the event from whom. But doctor, just like I don't know, I have questions about space, about life. Uh,
I have a
and
question, Pablo. Would you go to space?
I, if I will go to space, I would love to
Yes.
go to space. I mean, I would. Yes, I will go to space. I will doodle in space. I will just dance in space. What can we do in space that what has not been done in space that I could do?
Oh my goodness. Well, I think any kind of like just getting your being able to artistically express yourself in a new and exciting way. Because when you get up there in space, you just don't know what to expect, and I find that very exciting. You know.
So please correct me if I'm wrong. Is this an invitation, doctor? Are you inviting me to
Yeah.
space?
I am inviting you to go to space with me. We
Let's
just need
go.
to, yep, we just need our starship to blast off.
That oh my god, look at the photo. Like we have a photo of you and like
Oh, yes. So I became the first Black female pilot of a spacecraft, and I'm amazed at still when I talk about that of just how my life changed as a result of being able to go to space.
it is it is really inspiring, doctor. And I want to know like what does a I mean it kind of sounds obvious, but maybe not. Like what does a pilot do? Like are you the one like commanding the ship and just like moving the ship? I don't know.
Yeah, today it's interesting because the modern day spacecraft is autonomous. And
Ooh.
as a result, you get to, my job was really to become a systems engineer and to think about how systems come together, and how the Dragon capsule works.
Hmm.
And so I monitored what was happening with the Dragon capsule, and then really, what we could do if we had an issue, what me and my crew could do to be able to solve that issue.
And did you have any issues? What were the issues up
We
there?
had one. There was one moment when we did have an alarm go off, and
Okay,
as a result,
that sounds very
we
scary.
yeah,
An alarm going off on space in
but
the
we were
darkness of space.
trained very well by SpaceX to be able to handle it. And as a
Hmm.
result, be able to kind of go in, identify what the situation was, work with SpaceX to come up with the solution of what was happening. And then, and just amazing being able to work together on something like this, and and figure out what, the issue is, and then move together as a team.
So, uh, in the movies, they usually are like, there's a team on Earth, just like in the movies, it's usually with a lot of computers and just like a big screen, and everyone just like, and everyone has glasses,
Yeah,
big
yeah, right.
glasses,
It's so
at
true.
least on the movies. So, is it a little bit like that? And I suppose if it is SpaceX, is it
It
also
is. It's
in
very much like
Houston?
that. You have your crew. You have your crew, and then you have your team. And your team are the ones who really kind of back you up and are able to you know uh, provide that support. And that's they're called your mission support crew.
Wow, that's amazing. But and they are able to control stuff about the chip from Earth. Like they're able to just like, okay,
Yes.
opening the hatch. Beep.
Yep. Yep, they're
Oh,
able to send up commands, certain commands, to be able to fly the spacecraft and do things with it. And
God.
that's one of the things that I love about where we're going these days with technology, is that we're able to come in and have, people like you and me go to space as a result of this, and do things that you never thought you might be able to do, and that's exciting.
It is really exciting. It's just I don't know. It sounds also like, uh, but by the way, with the issue that you had, did you say, Houston, we have a problem? Did-
I wanted to, but we were more like, it's funny because they did such a good job of training us that it was really kind of like interesting to see how easily we came back and were able to, just jump right into the situation and react the way that we were trained to react.
Yeah, and that is like a reacting like in a calm way, like a just like seeing it rationally. Like what are those things? How are you supposed to react up in space when you have a problem?
Well, we're trained each to have our role. And me, as the mission pilot, it was my job to go and look at the system that was being impacted, and then determining, what could we do about it, if anything, as a crew. And so that was one of the things that I was tasked with, and it was a great responsibility, but it was also, I really enjoyed it, because I really got to know the Dragon capsule, what we were capable to do, and my job ultimately was to back up my commander, Jared Isaacman, and to make sure that he had the situational awareness that he needed to be able to make the best decisions for us as a crew.
Wow. Okay. Uh, uh, Now that you're inviting me to space, will I have also a role? Like
Yes, yes, you
uh,
will. And
can my role
so,
be panicking, just like, hey, when there is a problem? It's like,
um,
no, no problem, danger, danger.
I think you would be my chief artist in residence,
Oh wow. Okay, I love it. Chief
and
artist in residence.
your job would make the capsule beautiful.
Oh, I love that. Yes, I'm ready.
Pablo, can you imagine yourself in a suit like that?
Uh, yeah, I don't know if it's going to hold my beard. I don't know if there's going to be problems like with the
It would
suit.
definitely hold your beard. But
Okay,
what
cool.
I love, what I love about becoming an astronaut was getting to see the Earth from that amazing perspective, right? Where you're just amazed at just how beautiful our planet is.
I've heard that it's life changing. That once you
It
see
really
that,
is.
it, it's
Hmm.
it's an experience that you come back and with a new perspective. Was that Was that something like that your experience too, Doctor?
It absolutely was. And you know, I'm a geoscientist by training. And so I kind of already had this love of our planet and particularly of, a knowledge of the overview effect and what you were just talking about, how astronauts will go to space and then they'll feel transformed as a result of the experience. And for me, it was definitely that that I definitely experienced the overview effect, but in a way I wasn't anticipating, and that
Hmm.
was the fact that I got to experience Earth light.
Hmm.
And what I mean by this is, think about moonlight and how when you go out and there's a full moon rising. In fact, tonight is a full moon.
Oh,
And when
okay.
you go outside and you see the full moon rising, think about how that makes you feel, how connected we are to moonlight, and how we have art and poetry and movies and myth and lore all around moonlight.
Yes.
Well, Earth light is a lot brighter and more spectacular. So when I went up into space, I got illuminated by Earth light.
Oh my
So,
God.
Earth light my face and to feel it just the way you feel moonlight. And to me, that was transformative.
Hold on. Do you get, instead of sunburned, do you get earth burnt? Is it that
You
bright
definitely
that?
well, it was bright enough where I could definitely use sunglasses at some time. But it was interesting because we had no direct sunlight coming into the capsule because of the way that it was designed with a nose
Mm,
cone. And
mm,
so as a result, you the only light that we got when we were up in the cupola was that reflected light. Moonlight is sunlight that's being reflected off of the moon back at us.
mm.
But it made me think about our world so differently, particularly as an artist, because when you think about um, the fact that we had what was I going to say? Our entire world is reflected light. Think
Yeah.
about that. Our entire world, everything we see around us, is a result of light reflecting off of it.
Hmm. Yeah, and it's like what we see here up down here, which is the light that we were able to see, that like our brains just like, I don't know, like interpret like color. Uh, but up there, it's is the whole thing, and it's just like it looks like if it was emitting light itself, right?
Yeah, and so it felt like the earth was pulsating energy, just
Oh,
this radiant energy. And I'm trying to change my color of my palette, and for some reason I'm stuck on gold. And let me see here, how do I make it so that it's not gold anymore? Edit,
oh,
undo.
on the color thingy, just like move the on the circle, you know, that you can select
Yeah,
any
i'm
of the
i'm
hues.
click I'm clicking on the different colors, but when I do, let me try that, maybe that'll do it. Got it. I was able to successfully figure that out now, that you have two colors that you can toggle between, which is very
Oh,
cool.
that's true. Yeah, you have two colors, so like quickly you can just like toggle between them. But it's really cool to hear this, Doctor, and just like know that you are an inspiration. It's just like having an artist and having someone like you up there, and then bringing it back, and not only like having that experience, but sharing that experience with everyone, and inspiring other people. It's I don't know, it's an act of love, and
Oh, thank you
we,
so much. Well,
we appreciate that.
um, I can't tell you how much I appreciate all that you do and have been able to share with the world, because you're definitely inspiring me. and I love all your style and your art, and then being able to have this experience with you, where we're creating a canvas together.
Yes, I love it. It's so cool. By the way, I'm just adding doodles everywhere. Some of them are
I know.
astronauts, some of
I
them are
love it.
monsters, and just
That's what
like
I'm doing. I'm putting my alien in right now.
alien astronauts. I think we need one of those. By the way, oh, look at this. Mila is sharing some of your art.
Oh, that's my Afro Mother Earth. Now I drew this line drawing before I learned that I was going to space. So another astronaut, Richard Garriott, who is the president of the Explorers Club, he was going down to the Mariana Trench, to Challenger Deep, the deepest location on our planet, and he was taking art and poetry with them. And so I was able to, he said he would take my art with him. So I drew this. I was born on Guam, which sits on the Mariana Trench. So this was my line drawing, and I just love it. The poem that I wrote to go with it is called Seeker, and it is a cinquain. A cinquain is a certain type of poem where you have 2 syllables, 4 syllables, 6 syllables, 8 syllables, and then you go back to 2 syllables. So
Hmm.
my poem is Seeker. Why go? Because I can. It is what humans do. We
Yeah,
explore, we observe, we learn. Seeker. And then Subtractive, who I worked with to bring NFTs to space. They they were the company that I was working with to to bring the Mutniks to space. They animated that piece for me.
that is amazing,
All right,
and
that's
this
what
was
I.
before you went to space. So, like this piece, correct me if I'm wrong. You're saying that this other astronaut, they brought it to space, and so now this piece is somewhere floating, or is
Yeah. So no. So this is the great part. So that piece, that original drawing piece, went down to to the bottom of the Mariana Trench. Then it came back up and came back to me, and then another astronaut friend of mine took it down to the Titanic, the Titanic. So he went down in a different submersible and brought my art piece down there, and then it came back to me, and then I brought it to the Mariana Trench. I'm not the Mariana Trench. I brought it to space with me and my crew members. And then when I got home, I donated it to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, where it sold at auction for $100,000.
that's amazing. So I
Yeah,
get
I
it
wanted to
now.
be able to contribute. So our mission's goal was to raise $200 million to help end childhood cancer with St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
Hmm, that is
And so I'm really proud to say that to date we've raised $243 million towards childhood cancer.
what that
Yeah, it was
is.
the largest fundraiser ever in Jude's history.
Congrats, that is
And
amazing.
art was a big part of that. We worked with the kids. Astronaut Nicole Stott made art backpacks with the kids' art on it, and so she came in and did that. We did an NFT auction while I was in orbit with Subtractive, and we had 50 artists donate a one of one and to contribute to this cause,
Wow,
and just an amazing support. And we had some physical pieces that flew to space, including Seeker, but then we, like I said, NFTs. We brought Mutniks to space. Just It was just so much fun. Ooh, I just flipped my canvas.
that
I
is
love the
amazing.
fact that we both are working at this simultaneously to build this beautiful um, portrait that is just so
I
awesome.
know. I'm just like working around your characters, what you're drawing. I'm just like putting little monsters and stuff around.
Well, I'm having a great time just
Yeah.
trying to. Oh, I think I'm. Let me get back into the undo that.
Doc, Pablo, I
Yes.
want to share with like our audience that we will be in New York with Subtractive, and this is going to be an event for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. So if anyone is curious about like to get to know more about Dr. Proctor or to get to know more about Pablo, to go there and like see live all this beautiful art, next Tuesday is your is your opportunity to go. We are gonna be there drawing and jamming.
I'm so excited to meet you in person, Doctor.
Oh, I am too. I can't wait. I'm trying to get my. Oh, I now I know what I'm doing wrong.
What
I'm like, what
happened?
am I doing wrong as I'm drawing? Well, I had black because I was using black, and then I forgot to make it back into um,
Yeah.
my pink color.
Sometimes what happens to me is just like I have the eraser on, and I'm like, why is it not drawing? It's like, well, you had the eraser, Pablo. What do you expect? Uh, but yeah, that event is going to be exciting. So like for people to go, and Mila, can you tell us a little bit more where, what day it's going to be, where?
Yes, it's going to be in Tuesday, June 21, from 2 to 4 p.m. And we're going to be in a gallery with like screens, and also Pablo is going to be like hosting the event. What are you going to do? What does like a host do?
I don't know. Hosting means I don't know. I imagine like a like in a TV show and just like hey with the microphone and introducing people and
I
and doing
can't
some
wait.
bad jokes that nobody laughs and is like oh okay ha 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 ha
It
and
sounds
then
amazing.
Yeah, and we're going to share there some NFTs. We're going to display some Astro Robotas. And also, Doc, you have an NFT collection, right? That's going to be around in the screens.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing some fun stuff with, again, raising money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. And so we're going to be having some art around that that people can contribute, can pick up. Um, and I'm excited to just kind of share more of my work as I develop as an artist and a poet. Because a lot of I do both art and poetry together.
That's beautiful. And also, I'm looking forward because Naila is going to be there too, like drawing with us and sharing her art. She's a really, really cool kid here in the NFT space.
She really is. And
Yeah,
she drew a portrait of me before, she got picked up as a time artist. And she actually had a contribution to our NFT auction last year. And so just a great young artist, and it's so great to, be able to support her.
totally. So we are going to have also free food, drinks, astronauts, special gifts that I'm not going to tell you what they are going to be.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah. And yeah, it's going to be in Soho in a gallery over there. So RSVP everybody here because
Isn't Soho like the cool area?
Soho is. It's the place to be. Pablo,
No,
wherever you are is the place to be. I
that's
just want to
true.
say that.
Exactly. Wherever Doctor Sian is the cool area.
Good thing we're going to be together.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it a little bit less cool. I'm gonna I'm gonna be the antidote to the coolness. Uh,
All right,
We
I'm
have a
attempting to
blank
draw
spot
my.
over here, and this is, by the way, I love. There's a robot in the UFO in the
I'm
on
drawing.
the
This is my
Enterprise.
robot for you that I'm drawing.
Yes, I love it. And but, doctor, I need to ask you. You've been up there.
Am I what?
You, I have to ask you like a very serious question. You've been
Yes.
up there. You've been close. You've been up there in space. So
Yep.
life and other planets, life out there. Does it exist? What
Yeah.
is what
You
is here?
know, I do believe that we will eventually find life. I think the big question is, will we find intelligent life out there? And I think that that's one of the big mysteries, because there's a difference between being able to find, you know, microbial life, and
Yeah.
then also being able to find, life that is intelligent and that we can communicate with. And
How?
so I would love to see that we find that intelligent life, um, that, I was looking for aliens while I was up there. I'd just say that.
Well, and how do you feel? Like, let's say that we do find life, that we find, I don't know, like one or the other. Let's say that we find intelligent life, like, and somehow they reply our messages that we've been just sending, or they reply with something, or we just like see something that is like, okay, this looks like a planet that like has constructions or something that is not just a planet, but something that just like an intelligent life is there. What would that mean though? Because like I don't know. Have you heard about? Oh, obviously you have, but I want to know like about the Fermi paradox, about like the whole idea that if we actually find intelligent life, it could be pretty bad for us.
Yeah, but I'm a Star Trek optimist. So I like to think that we will find intelligent life that will be, supportive and curious, and not want to destroy us. And
Yeah,
so,
let's hope.
because I mean, it's almost like that whole idea of the doomsday, where when you think about also just us as a species, and when we talk about AI, you know.
Yeah, yeah. It's I think I'm just I am
And the whole idea of robots taking over, right?
robots taking over. Like a we just like we just I don't know, like we destroy our planet just like by just being like continue doing the things that we do, or AI takes over or something. But also I do believe in just like, hey, we'll figure it out, like sometimes we
um,
just like figure it out when
yes,
it's a little bit too late, but we still figure it out.
I totally agree that we are intelligent enough and creative enough that we would be able to figure it out. And I love that, because I feel like that is, it's such a message of hope.
Yeah, and it's the only thing that while I love that, it's just like sometimes it feels like we only get to that point when it's really there's no other option, when there's a catastrophe, or there's like just like
Yeah,
it's almost like when like we don't do it proactively. It's more like a reaction, and
I
humanity sometimes
totally agree.
comes as a reaction because like, hey, suddenly we remember, hey, we're all the same. Let's figure this out. Let's just like, hey, let's act on this. But sometimes it feels like it was too late. It's like, come on, we could have done this a long time ago. Why didn't we just?
Yes. Oh, I know. Like, and it makes me wonder, will we ever get to the state where, oh, I keep doing that. Where we are, you know, um, mindful of the impact that we have on our, like we're the stewards of Mother Earth. And it's our job to, to take that responsibility seriously.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We have to. It's just like there's no other option. We have to. If we want to continue sharing this planet, we just have to figure out a lot of stuff, and we have to work together.
Yes, yes, and that's the key, is being willing to work together, to be productive, and just mindful of the role we play on our beautiful planet.
I love that. So, damn, we almost filled it up. You still have one space up there. Uh,
Are
oh,
you-
we have a question, Doctor. It says, "What's up with food for astronauts? What do you eat
oh,
up?"
I love that question, and the reason why is because I ate my favorite food in space. So I got to ask you, Pablo, what would you want to eat in space?
I would love to eat, well, some maybe some pizza, maybe a veggie hot dog, maybe
I ate pizza.
you ate pizza. Okay.
That's what I ate, was pizza in space.
Is it
It's
any
my
different?
favorite food, and it was so good. It was cold pizza. So, okay, the Dragon capsule. So, the Dragon capsule was designed to go to the International Space Station and back. So, as a ferry ship to bring humans to the ISS. And then
Okay.
my commander came along, Jared Isaacman, and is like, well, what else can we do with it? And then they decided to do this free flyer mission. But it wasn't, and so SpaceX was like, huh, well, there's no heating or cooling element. So for food, they're like, well, what we can do is we can make you a makeshift cooler. And because my crew members love coffee, they froze the coffee, and the coffee acted like ice packs. And then
Hmm.
they said, well, what kind of food would you want to eat? If you could have a cooler of cold food. And I was like, pizza. And
Yeah.
so, and I'm gluten free, but SpaceX made me the best pizza. It had jalapenos on it, and it had like some veggies and some pepperoni. And then I also had a BLT, and my BLT was fantastic.
Wow. Okay. So jalapeno. You mentioned jalapeno. You like your food spicy. I'm assuming.
Yeah, well, there's been an interesting thing where when you go to space, your face becomes puffy because gravity, your gravity pulls fluids towards your feet. And so in space, you don't have gravity. So all
Yeah.
that fluid shifts and moves up, and your face becomes puffy and your nose stuffy, and you get a light headache. So food doesn't taste the same. And it's a
Hmm.
real issue because astronauts can start having food apathy, where they don't want to eat. And even us, we didn't eat all of our food that was allotted to us. And but they want spicy stuff because the spiciness gets past the congestion. And so I thought, oh well, I'll put jalapenos on my pizza so I can have a little kick.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, you're right because like a spicy food usually like helps with congestion on the nose and stuff, right? So
Yes,
it would just like your body would just like try to bring in the like hey the water just like hey there's fire so let's do something
exactly.
about it and now your body reacts to that. Wow. And I suppose also because hotness is not really a taste, it's more a reaction to the skin, then at least it tastes like something, it tastes spicy. So
It
like
does.
oh wow,
And yep,
okay. So
so you
it
feel it, and I
dude,
love that, you know.
how are we doing with our drawing? I'm liking how it's looking. Another question: how many people go inside a spacecraft for going to the space? Just like I suppose, like what is the capacity in a spacecraft? How many
So
people?
the SpaceX Dragon was designed for to carry. It could technically carry six, I believe, but
Hmm.
four has been what they've been sending. And so, so it was me and three other crew members. So I was the mission pilot, and then my commander, Jarrett Isaacman. And he's the person who conceived of Inspiration 4, the fundraiser for St. Jude, and the whole entire mission. And he selected, well, I technically won my seat as an artist and a poet. So I won the prosperity seat.
That's amazing. So 4 people, take up to 6, just in case you find a lost astronaut in space. You can tell them like, "Hey, come, we have space. Like, we have some
The
room over
problem is
here."
that there was no way in or out of our capsule, the capsule that we had designed.
Oh,
But,
okay.
Starship, SpaceX is creating Starship, and Starship's going to be a real game changer. If you think about human space exploration and how we have changed, over the past 60 years, it started with dogs in space. And that's one of the reasons why I brought the Muttniks with me. The Muttniks are through Cosmic Paws, they're NFTs, but it's the history of dogs. Did you know that we flew about 100 dogs to space before and the first dogs flew before humans flew to space?
Yeah, wasn't the first one a Russian one, right? Laika
Yeah, yeah. The first dogs these were called Muttniks because they were dogs found off the street of Russia, and the most loyal, loving dogs are the ones that
Mm,
pass the training. And then we strapped them into, rockets and sent them to space to see how they would do. And some of them survived and some of them didn't. And it's just kind of this really sad yet inspiring story of
yeah,
what we needed to do in order for us to be able to move forward with humans going to space.
that is amazing. We owe a lot to our best friends.
We do, very much
Yeah,
so. And I think that that's one of the things that I love about when we're talking about art and what we can do with art, and the way that we contribute and give back. I just think that that's so important a message.
it is so cool. And you were talking about they're working on a new spaceship or something. What is the difference with that? Is that one going to allow spacewalks or something?
Yeah, Starship
Wow.
is going to be amazing because one, it's really Elon's vision of how we send humans to Mars, to the moon and Mars. And so it's a much bigger spaceship that is going to allow for lots of people to go. So right now, the first iteration, when they send it around the moon, it's going to be 15 people. 12 people from Dear Moon. So Dear Moon was this contest last year
Hmm.
where a Japanese billionaire said, I want to take artists around the moon. And so they haven't announced who the 12 winners are yet, but they chose 12 people, him and 11 other people. And when Starship's ready, they're going to send them around the moon.
Wow.
And I just think that's amazing, right? So
Yeah,
many people right now are winning their seats to space. And in fact, right now, my good friend Mike Mongo. Do you know Mike Mongo?
yeah, yeah. He's
Mike,
so fun.
yes, well, Mike is a finalist to win his seat to space on Space Plus NFT. So any of you that are listening, if you go to Space Plus NFT and their Discord, if you're a Space Plus holder, you can vote for our good friend Mike Mongo to go to space. Like send Mike to space. I'm just amazed, and they're going to announce the winner at NFT NYC. So NFTs are literally now sending people to space.
Wow. It's so cool, like what you're saying about like sending artists. I it makes me think of this movie from the '90s. I'm a kid from the '90s, so Contact, which was based on a
Oh,
book by Carl Sagan, uh,
yes.
and there's a scene in the movie where the actress who is the astronaut is Jodie Foster. She says, because they're asking her to describe like what she sees, and she says they should have sent a poet.
I know. This is one of the
They-
reasons why I am so excited that they sent me. Can I wrote a poem for my to that won my seat to space. Can I read you my poem?
Please, please do. Can
Okay.
we focus on Doctor?
So I came out, I self-published a book of art and poetry called Space to Inspire, The Art of Inspiration. And it goes through the journey of me becoming an artist over the last 2 years. And um, the the um, the poem Space to Inspire is this. Okay, Space to Inspire. You've got space, I've got space. We all have space to inspire. That's why we dream of going higher and higher. But what is space if you can't breathe? Let's stop sucking out the air of our humanity. We have a moment to seize the light, Earth from space, both day and night. We have J for justice to ignite the bold. We have E for equity to cut past the old. We have D for diversity to end the fight. We have I for inclusion to try to make it right. A Jedi space to rally behind. A universal force so big it binds. Inspiration to change the world. A new beginning for us to hold. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's about space to inspire for all of humanity. Science, technology, engineering, and math sending us out on the explorer's path. But don't forget the arts, the heartbeat of time. Consider sending a poet who knows how to rhyme. So let us drop the mic and close the capsule door. But please make sure Dr. Proctor is on board. My space to inspire is what we need. Inspiration for all of humanity. And that won me my seat to space.
Beautiful, beautiful, Doctor. Thanks for sharing that. That is beautiful, and I love the line. I think if I remember right, it was art, the heartbeat
Of
of
time.
time. That is
Yes.
beautiful. They should send a poet that knows how to rhyme.
But yeah,
It's-
but that's directly from Jodie Foster,
yeah.
and because Contact's my favorite movie, so I'm so glad you mentioned it because
Yes.
it's so good, and and so I was just like, because I could have tried to win the contest as a geoscientist, because I've been a teacher teaching geology and earth science and sustainability for the last 20 plus years, but I found my authentic voice as an artist and a poet, and it just felt right to enter the contest that way.
Yeah. There is a question, and doing a
Oh,
reference
this
to
is
your
great.
poem.
Yeah.
Uh,
What would we do? What would you suggest for us regular citizens to get involved with your mission of creating a giant space? Oh, this is great. Okay, so I have a motto called Space to Inspire, which is not about outer space, it's about your space, your unique space to inspire those within your reach and beyond. So Pablo uses his art and he brings people together to inspire them to think about all these different things. And so how you use your space to inspire matters, but then how do you make that space a Jedi space, just, equitable, diverse, and inclusive? Because if we all thought about our own unique space to inspire and made it a Jedi space, think about what the world would be like. It would be amazing. And so, like your example of doing this, an example is Pablo inviting me on. I'm a young, new artist, black female, and being able to have this experience, it elevates me.
mm,
It enables me to imagine and myself as a creator in new and exciting ways, and that's what Jedi Space is about.
that is amazing. Thank you so much, Doctor. This I don't know how we're doing on time, but this and also just like take a look at our piece.
I
Look at this.
know.
Oh, what happened? Are we minting this? What is going on? Like we should mint this and put it out there.
I
Uh,
love it. I think it's gorgeous and beautiful. And I
yeah,
love how we were able to come together. I felt a little shaky in the beginning because I didn't know the program, but it all kicked in the end. And so I love it.
I love
I
it.
think
I
it's
love it,
great.
Doctor. Thanks for sharing this. Well, this is space with
Yes.
us. And thanks for answering the questions and just like being open to do like new weird experiences like this, where it's like, hey, let's paint together. And it's just amazing to have someone like you. You are truly an inspiration to all of us.
Thank you so
And
much. I can't wait till we go to space together. Now it's on the books. We've put it out there into the world, so it's going to manifest.
I'm ready. Chief artist in space. I,
Yes.
maybe wait for when spacewalk is available and I can paint while spacewalking.
I yes, and I think you need to paint the capsule through a spacewalk. So when the capsule comes back, it's been
Yeah,
made into this beautiful thing while in space.
I can vandalize the
Y-
the, the space capsule.
Yeah, you can be the first graffiti
You can
artist
tag
in
it.
space.
I think that's perfect.
Let's do it. I'm super ready for that.
Oh,
Doc,
I love it.
I love
So
it.
thank
Thank you
you
so
again.
much for being here, Doctor. And yeah, let's share this image to the world. And
Sounds good. And
okay,
thank you to everybody who tuned in and asked all these really thoughtful questions.
yeah, thank you, everyone. What's up, Mila? What else?
That's it. This has been a pleasure, like to watch and to hear. Your piece is beautiful. I love like the way you mix all the colors. It's really bright. I'm
I
curious if
do
we can
too.
show this in New York too. That
I
would
would
be
love it.
dope. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
do
let's
that.
do it.
Thank you
Okay,
so much.
Doctor, we'll see you up there in New York. Everyone else, you're invited to come over and meet Dr. Sian Proctor and Mila and myself and the rest of the team. And just like also Nila is going to be there. Is that her name?
Nyla.
Nyla,
Nyla. Nyla. Yep.
Nyla is going to be there.
Nyla and her long neck
Long necky
images.
ladies.
The
Ah,
long
I
Yeah.
neckies
know.
are going to be there, so it's going to be pretty cool. A lot of pretty inspiring, smart people, and yeah,
I'm so excited. I'm really excited to meet you in person. So
I I
again,
think it's
thank
going
you.
to get pretty nerdy. Like it's going to get like usually people go to
Yeah.
parties because they want to rage and just like "Wah!" Like here's going to be like, hey, let's talk about space. Let's talk about like
Yeah.
math.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love the fact that yeah, I love the robotos and the fact that I have a character that's Afrobotica and just I just love it. I love that we connect on so many levels.
Thank you. Well, thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Mila. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Bye
Bye
bye. Beep
everyone.
boop.
Beep
Beep
boop.
boop.
Beep boop. Bye.
Beep, boop, bop, boop, boop,
Bye
boop,
bye.
boop.